All right, so I'm here with Alissa. She's one of the trainers at Kraken Training, and she's actually competing for a bodybuilding competition. She's about 5 weeks out right now, and she has 3 important things that you need to do in order to get this level of leanness, or actually just lean in general. So the number 1 thing that she wants to talk about is it was meal timing first?
Yeah. Well,
or
number of meals.
the number of meals, and then it was what to put into your meals, and then the third thing is meal timing and the importance of meal timing, especially when it comes to a bodybuilding prep, or if you're just trying to shred out for the summer. So so number 1, go ahead.
All right, so the first thing that I like to talk about is figuring out how many meals you want to have. So how many main meals you want to have, and then how many snacks you want to have. So for example, for me, I have 3 main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I have 2 snacks. So determine that. You can totally have less than that or more than that, depending on what you find keeps you full for longer, what helps with your mindset. But determine that before you start your day, so plan it out the night beforehand. And yeah, that's one of the main things that I recommend.
So why would somebody want to do 6 meals versus doing like 2 meals? What's the difference?
Yeah, so some people use up some people have like hypoglycemic tendencies, meaning that they use up their blood sugar levels really quickly, so you get hangry. So people that get hangry might want to have more meals throughout the day to be able to balance that. Other people don't have that at all, and they find that they stay full longer, and they take a longer time to digest their food. So 2 meals is ideal for them, as well as convenience and all that stuff. So it's really important to experiment to figure out what works best for you before you really jump into something that's like a time crunch. And then once you figure that out, try to stick with that.
So basically it's whatever works for you.
Yeah, whatever works for you, figure it out, and then yeah, stick with that.
Okay, cool. So I think number 2 was what to put inside your meals. So I'm assuming that has to do with portions.
Yeah, like portions, but also just like how to make it easier to prepare your meals when it comes to meal prepping. So for my experience, I really focus on like my 3 main meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and keeping that consistent, but giving room for some kind of variety. So what I say is, or what I like to call it, is like understanding what the skeleton of your main meals are. So for example, the skeleton or the bones of your main meals will be like your carb source. So is that rice? Is that cauliflower rice? Is that quinoa? Is that yams, potatoes, whatever? You can choose that. And maybe have like a list of 3 different types that you like, that you can interchange between.
Oh, the phone's ringing somewhere in here. Oh, there's this one. 1 sec. Go ahead, keep
Sounds
talking.
good. And then you have to choose your veggie source, which is really important just to get your fiber in, but also your micronutrients, and to also help with just volume in your stomach, so you stay full for a little bit longer. So you can have like maybe green beans or Brussels sprouts or corn if you want, or whatever. And then again, have like maybe a list of 3 different ones that you can interchange between. And then your protein source. So chicken, white fish, something that's lean is preferable. You can have like ground turkey, ground chicken. Yeah, and then again, have 3 different types that you can interchange between. And then choose like some sauces that you like that you can also put on top. And then that way you have a bit of variety, but the bones, or like the actual meal itself, is still quite similar, so it's easy to build. It becomes like robotic after a while. You don't have to really think about it too much, but you still have flavors that you can change between, and grocery shopping is a lot easier that way, as well as like measuring out your food. So I recommend to do that for your 3 main meals, or just your main meals in general. If you have 2, 3, 4, 5 main meals, doesn't matter, whatever works for you.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I guess that was answered pretty well. I like that, especially the skeleton thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So the third thing that you want to talk about was meal timing. And does this have anything to do with also like, because you didn't mention much about portions in the last number 2.
Yeah.
So does this have more to do with portions as well?
Kind of. I would say that when it comes to like your portion sizes, I think you really have to figure out what you prefer. For myself, for example, it took me a long time to realize that I like most of my calories in the evening. And that helps with meal timing throughout the day. So for example, for me, intermittent fasting has actually really helped with mindset. So it's not excessive or anything. Like my first meal is usually like 9:30 or 10 a.m., which is really not that late. But I wake up at 4 in the morning. So it all really depends on the person, but getting that one difficult thing, which is to fast until 9:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. really helps with just like getting me to go a little bit harder at the gym or to go a little bit longer until my next snack, just to be able to keep my calories in order. So that's the main reason why I do the intermittent fasting, but also it also helps with lining up with your circadian rhythm. So for example, just like how your body just naturally starts to create this like rhythm or cycle. So if you wake up at the same time every single day and you eat and sleep at the same time every single day, then you have hunger cues at the same time. So it makes it a lot easier for basically everything to function really well together. So you're not adding that extra stress that you don't need to. So that's what I mean about meal timing. It's not so much about meal timing to get like more gains or anything like that. It's more just for your mindset so that you can ease that stress off of your shoulders. So try to eat your breakfast at the same time. Try to figure out when you need to eat that second meal. So is that 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Figure it out. Don't let your blood sugar level drop too much where you become ravenous. Like really wait until you need to eat and then have your food. And then wait another 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you find works best for you. And then have your second meal, third meal, fourth meal, so on and so forth, and stick with that every single day. And it'll become a lot easier to just create that cycle, keep your stress levels down, and then as well as your food anxiety down. And then it'll just make it much more manageable to keep within your calories.
Yeah, so basically meal timing is preference as well, what works best for you.
Exactly. So yeah, it's definitely, everyone is totally different. Like I have clients that eat every couple hours. I have clients that eat every like 5-6 hours. Some clients just do 2 meals a day. Some do 6 meals a day. So it really depends on you. There's no right or wrong. Like don't judge yourself at all if you mess up and you need to eat like an hour beforehand or hour after. Just try to be consistent and just work towards that consistency. It doesn't happen overnight. And understand that a lot of it, especially in the beginning, is experimenting. And once you figure it out, you'll know. Once you figure it out, stick with it.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So is there anything else that you want to say?
I would say that one really big thing when it comes to like your meal planning and fat loss and weight loss is you have to understand that it is uncomfortable and it's difficult, but when you accept that and you lean into the discomfort and you just push yourself through it, it becomes a lot easier that way. So if you ever having a difficult day, just understand that it's okay and just keep pushing on. Just
part of the process, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I hope that helped you guys, and we'll see you in the next video, but let's do like a thumbnail for the video. So let's see some abs.
Okay, so I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, see you guys in the next video.
Yeah.